Jack stepped off the small transport shuttle and looked around the huge trade station. It floated silently in the dark space above the planet below. The station was busy with people from many places, but all were humans. Jack came here often, but this time, something felt different. The station was huge, with many levels and corridors. Everywhere he looked, workers moved quickly, doing their jobs. Some talked loudly, others kept quiet. Jack liked the energy here. It made him feel alive. He walked toward the maintenance bay, his usual stop before going to the living quarters. He saw her then. She was standing by a metal wall, fixing some wires, wore a simple gray hoodie that covered most of her head. Her hands moved fast and sure, but she did not look up. Her long brown hair fell in front of her face. Jack thought she looked young and tired. He thought she was just a normal worker like many others. The station had many people working low jobs. No one paid much attention to them. Jack had a good job as an engineer and often met important people. This girl seemed far from all that. Jack was curious. Why did she work so quietly and alone? He wondered if she had family or friends here, but he did not want to bother her. He walked past slowly, keeping his eyes on her for a moment. She did not look up once. It made him think she wanted to be invisible. He went to a small room in the living quarters. The walls were plain metal, and the bed was narrow. Jack sat down and thought about the girl. He had not asked her name or anything. Maybe she was shy. Maybe she had secrets. Jack liked mysteries. Next day, Jack returned to the maintenance bay. He looked for the girl again. She was there, doing the same work. This time, he tried to say hello. His voice was soft but clear. "Hi, I'm Jack. I see you here a lot. What's your name?" She paused, then looked up for a short moment. Her eyes were dark and calm. She said, "Emily." Jack smiled. "Nice to meet you, Emily. Do you like working here?" She nodded slowly. "It's quiet. I like quiet." Jack did not know what to say next. Emily's voice was soft but strong. She seemed different from other workers. There was something about her that made Jack want to learn more. Jack and Emily met often by chance. Sometimes they talked for a few minutes. Emily never spoke about her past or family. She kept her hoodie on most of the time. Jack noticed that when she was alone, she looked more relaxed, but still careful. One afternoon, Jack heard some workers talking about a problem. Someone said the Queen's safety was in danger. Jack did not believe it at first. The Queen was a powerful woman who led many humans in space. No one would dare to threaten her, he thought. But Emily stopped working and looked around nervously. She pulled her hoodie tighter and whispered to Jack, "Be careful what you hear here. Not everything is safe." Jack looked at her with surprise, did not know why Emily said that. She seemed to know more than she let on. He wanted to ask. But she walked away quickly and disappeared into the crowd. Jack was left standing alone. He realized that Emily was not just a simple worker. There was something hidden beneath her quiet face. He felt both curious and worried. He began watching Emily more closely. She moved like someone used to danger. She never stayed in one place for long. Sometimes she'll talk to important people in secret. Jack wondered who she really was. One night, Jack stayed late in the station. The lights were dim, and few people were around. He saw Emily again near a hidden door. She looked around and then slipped inside. Jack followed quietly. Inside, the room was small, but filled with screens and devices. Emily sat down and removed her hoodie. Jack saw her face clearly now. She was not just a tired worker. She had a calm and strong face like a leader. Jack wanted to say something, but Emily turned and saw him. She did not look angry. She said, "You should not be here." Jack felt nervous, but said, "Who are you? Why do you hide?" Emily looked at him and then sighed. "I am the Queen. I come here to hide when danger is near." Jack's mouth went dry. He had never expected this. The girl he thought was simple was the Queen herself. He wanted to believe her, but it was hard to accept. Emily smiled softly. "I trust you, but keep this secret. If others know, it could bring harm." Jack nodded slowly. He understood the weight of her words. From that moment, he saw Emily not as a worker, but as a strong woman who carried a heavy burden. He promised to protect her, no matter what. He knew the days ahead would be hard. But with Emily by his side, he felt ready for anything. Jack could not stop thinking about what Emily told him. She was the queen, hiding in plain sight. This was more than a secret. It was a heavy truth. Jack wanted to learn more, but he also felt the danger around them. The next day, Jack returned to the station early. The trade station was quieter in the morning. He hoped to find Emily again and talk more. He found her near the same maintenance bay, fixing a broken panel. Jack walked slowly and said, "Emily, I need to know more." "Why do you hide? Who wants to hurt you?" Emily looked at him with tired eyes. She pulled her hoodie low over her face. "Many want to take my place. Enemies wait for a chance. If they find me here, they will strike fast." Jack frowned. "But why come here? Why not stay safe somewhere else?" She shrugged. "This station is a crossroads. Many ships and people pass here. I watch the trade, the messages, the faces. I try to keep my kingdom safe from far away." Jack thought about this. It was a brave act to come here, alone and hidden. Most would hide in a fortress or a palace. Emily was different. While they talked, a loud alarm rang across the station. Red lights flashed. Jack and Emily looked at each other. "What is that?" Jack asked. Emily's eyes sharpened. "Oh, trouble. Someone is trying to get inside the Queen's chambers. I must see." They ran through the station halls. Many workers looked confused and scared. Jack felt a cold rush in his chest. This was not a drill. When they reached the Queen's area, Jack saw armed guards rushing past. The doors were locked, but the alarm meant someone tried to break in. Emily stepped forward and spoke calmly to a guard. "Let me through. It is my place." The guards hesitated but then stepped aside. Emily led Jack inside a small room. The Queen's real chambers were hidden deep in the station. Jack looked around. The room was simple but clean. It had a small window that looked out at the stars. Emily closed the door behind them. "This place is safe for now," she said. "But it will not be long before they try again." Jack asked, "Who are they? Who wants to harm you?" Emily sighed. "There are many enemies. Some want my land, some want power, others want revenge. I do not know who to trust." Jack nodded. He felt the weight of her words. The life of a queen was full of danger. It was not just about power, but survival. Emily looked at Jack. "You must keep this secret. Cannot tell anyone who I am," Jack promised. "No one will know. I will help you." Days passed, and the station stayed tense. Jack and Emily met in secret whenever they could. They planned ways to protect the station and gather information. Jack learned that Emily was smart and brave. She was not just a leader by blood, but by heart. She cared for her people, even from far away. One evening, Jack followed Emily to a hidden communication room. She sent messages to her kingdom leaders, asking for support and warning them of the danger. Jack felt proud to help. He was no longer just an engineer. He was part of something bigger. Then, late one night, a shadow moved near the station docks. Jack saw suspicious figures trying to sneak in. He ran to warn Emily. Together, they alerted the guards and stopped the intruders. Before they could reach the Queen's chambers, Emily smiled at Jack. "You saved us. I trust you more now." Jack smiled back. "We will face this together." The station was quiet again, but Jack knew the fight was not over. Danger was close, but so was hope. He looked at Emily and saw not a simple worker, but a true queen ready to protect her people. Days passed since the last attack. Jack and Emily worked closely. They met in secret rooms and planned ways to protect the station and the Queen's kingdom. Jack learned more about Emily's strength and wisdom. She was not just a hidden queen, but a leader who fought with her mind and heart. One evening, Emily asked Jack to come with her to a special place in the station. Jack was curious, but did not ask questions. He trusted her. They walked through narrow halls that few knew existed. The walls were cold metal, and the air was quiet. They stopped at a large door with a keypad. Emily typed a secret code, and the door opened slowly. Inside was a small room with soft light. Walls had pictures of planets and stars. In the middle was a chair and a small table with a device that showed moving images. It was a command center hidden deep inside the station. Emily sat down and looked at Jack. "This is where I watch over my kingdom. I send messages and make plans. Here I am, safe from those who want to find me." Jack nodded. He looked at the images on the screen. Ships moved across space. People talked in strange languages, and maps showed many worlds. It was all new to him. "Why do you hide so much?" Jack asked. "Why don't you show who you really are?" Emily sighed. "If I reveal myself now, enemies will attack faster. Must be careful. My people need time to prepare." Jack understood. It was a hard choice to hide when you wanted to lead, but Emily was strong enough to do it. They spent hours talking about plans and dangers. Jack told Emily about the people he trusted in the station. Emily made notes and said she would ask them for help. As they talked, the door suddenly opened. A tall man with a serious face stepped inside. He was one of the Queen's guards, named Ryan. He looked at Jack and then at Emily. "The station is not safe," Ryan said. "We have new information. The enemy is closer than before." Emily stood up quickly. "What do you know?" Ryan spoke quietly. "He sent spies. Some workers here might be spies. We must find them before they do harm." Jack looked at Emily. The danger was growing. It was no longer just attacks outside, but enemies inside the station. Emily nodded. "We will watch carefully. Jack, I need you to help me find who is loyal." Jack felt proud and nervous. It was a big task, but he was ready. They started asking questions quietly, watching people's actions. Jack used his knowledge of the station and the workers. He noticed small things others missed. One night, Jack saw a man acting strange near the communications room. The man was looking around nervously and carrying a small device. Jack followed him at a distance. The man entered a hidden corridor. Jack moved closer and listened. The man spoke into a small radio. "The Queen is still here. The plan will start soon." Jack knew this was the spy. He ran to find Emily and Ryan. They quickly made a plan to catch the man. With guards ready, they waited for the spy to leave the corridor. When he came out, they surrounded him. The man tried to run, but was stopped. Emily looked at the spy and said, "Why are you here?" "What do you want?" The man smiled coldly. "I work for those who want the Queen gone. Your kingdom will fall soon." Jack felt a chill. The enemy was closer than they thought. They took the spy to a secure room. Emily spoke to him carefully, trying to learn more. The man did not say much, but gave hints about a bigger plan. Jack and Emily knew they had little time. The enemy was preparing for a big attack. Emily looked at Jack. "We must be ready. This fight is not just for me, but for everyone who believes in peace." Jack nodded. He felt the weight of their task, but also the hope in Emily's eyes. They spent the next days strengthening defenses and gathering loyal people. Jack worked with Emily's team, fixing security systems and training guards. Slowly, the station felt stronger. Workers who once were afraid now stood together. Emily's hidden power gave them courage. One morning, Emily took off her hoodie in front of Jack. He saw her face clearly, the Queen who had been hiding in plain sight. Her eyes were strong and kind. Jack smiled. "No, you are not just a queen. You are a leader who will change everything." Emily smiled back. "And you are a friend who helped me when I needed it most." They both knew the days ahead would be hard, but together, they were ready to face whatever came. The station was no longer just a place for work. It was a home for hope and strength. And Emily, the Queen in disguise, was ready to lead her people to a new future. The days after the spy was caught were tense. Jack and Emily knew the enemy was preparing for a bigger attack. The station was on high alert. Workers and guards watched carefully. No one knew when or where the next strike would come. Emily called a meeting with her closest helpers. Jack was there. They planned ways to protect the station and the Queen's kingdom. Emily was calm but firm. Her voice showed strength. "We must act fast," she said. "Our enemies are close. We cannot wait." Jack looked around the room. The people were ready to fight for their home. They trusted Emily's words. That night, Jack helped prepare the defenses. He fixed security cameras, checked the doors, and trained some workers to stand guard. Everyone wanted to help. Emily moved through the station quietly, checking on the people. Some workers were scared, but many stood tall. They believed in the Queen, even if she was hidden. One day, a message arrived. It was from the Queen's kingdom leaders. They promised help and sent ships to defend the station. Emily smiled quietly. Hope was growing. Then, the attack came. Sirens blared. Red lights flashed. The station shook from the impact of enemy ships firing outside. Jack ran to Emily's side. The Queen did not show fear. She took command and gave orders. Guards, protect the gates. Engineers, fix the shields. Workers, stay safe, she shouted. Jack joined the fight. He helped repair the damaged walls and guided workers to safe places. The battle was fierce and loud. Outside, enemy ships tried to break the station's defenses. Inside, saboteurs moved quickly, but Jack and Emily's team caught them one by one. As the Queen's voice was heard on the loudspeakers, "We will not fall. We fight for peace and for our future." Hours passed. The attack slowed. The enemy ships began to retreat. The station was damaged, but standing strong. Jack looked at Emily. She was tired, but proud. Her eyes shone with courage. "We did it," Jack said. Emily nodded. "This is just the start. We must stay ready." The workers cheered. They knew their queen was real, not just a hidden worker. Emily's strength gave them hope. After the battle, Emily met with the leaders. She thanked them for their help. The Queen promised to protect all humans in the galaxy. Jack felt honored to stand with her. He knew the fight was far from over, but with Emily leading, the future looked bright. The battle was over, but the station still carried the scars of war. Many walls were broken, and many workers were tired. Jack looked around the damage and felt both sadness and hope. The Queen, Emily, had led them through the worst days. Now it was time to rebuild. Emily stood in the main hall, the place where she first revealed herself to Jack. The people gathered around her. No longer was she just a hidden worker. She was their leader, their queen, and their hope. Jack stood beside her. He saw the pride in her eyes and the weight she carried. Being a queen was not easy. It meant sacrifice, strength, and courage. "Today," Emily said, "we start a new era. Time when no one will hide who they are. Time when all humans stand together, strong and free." The crowd cheered. They had seen the Queen's true face, her true power. She was not just a ruler by birth, but a leader by heart. After the speech, Emily met with her advisors to plan the future. The station needed repairs, new guards, and better defenses. Jack was asked to help lead the engineering teams. He accepted proudly. Days turned into weeks. The station slowly came back to life. Workers fixed the walls, cleaned the halls, and welcomed new people. The Queen's presence gave them strength. Jack and Emily spent many hours together. They talked about the past battles and the future. Jack learned more about Emily's kingdom and her dreams. Emily told him, "I want peace for all humans. A future where no one lives in fear." Jack nodded. "We will make it happen." Together. One day, Emily received a message from a distant planet. The message was from a human colony that had been attacked. They needed help. Emily did not hesitate. She called for ships and soldiers to help the colony. Jack helped prepare the ships and their supplies. The Queen's actions showed the galaxy that humans cared for each other. No one was alone. Before the ships left, Emily looked at Jack. "This is more than a fight for power. It is a fight for family, for home." Jack smiled, "And we will win." The ships left the station, heading into the unknown. Emily and Jack watched them go, hoping for their safe return. Back at the station, life grew peaceful. People worked, laughed, and dreamed. The Queen was no longer hiding. She walked among her people, strong and free. One evening, Jack and Emily walked on the station's deck. The stars shone bright around them. Jack said, "You have changed this place, Emily. You have changed all of us." Emily looked at him and smiled. "We changed together." They stood side by side, looking at the endless stars. The future was wide open, full of hope and promise. Jack knew that no matter what came next, they would face it together. The Queen in the hoodie was now a queen for all humans, and her story would be told for generations. No one would forget the day she took off her hoodie and showed her true self. Because sometimes the greatest strength hides in the simplest places, and sometimes a queen wears a hoodie.